Yo, what is up, Ramily? Listen close because one of the most important pieces of this Rams offensive puzzle was actually hiding something massive during the offseason prep. We are talking about potential moves that could redefine the Sean McVay era in Los Angeles forever. From a mystery draft prospect that has the front office drooling to the truth behind that Davante Adams trade noise, things are getting wild in Thousand Oaks. Before we dive into these bombshells, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button right now to stay locked in with the most authentic Rams coverage on YouTube. Luther Burden III is the name that currently has every scout in the Rams building losing their minds because this kid is the missing link to an historic offense. Look, we already know what Matthew Stafford can do when he has weapons, but adding a prospect of this caliber is like pouring rocket fuel on an already burning fire. People around the league are starting to realize that the Rams are looking for that specific explosive element to take the pressure off the veterans. This prospect brings a level of verticality and playmaking after the catch that we haven't seen in this system for a long time. Imagine the schematic nightmare for defensive coordinators when they have to account for this kind of speed alongside our established stars. This isn't just about adding depth. It is about finding a cornerstone that can elevate the entire unit to extraordinary levels. When you watch the tape on this standout, you see a player who fits the McVay mold: perfectly high football IQ, versatile alignment, and the ability to win one-on-one matchups anywhere on the field. The Rams front office has been quiet, but the buzz is growing louder that they are prepared to do whatever it takes to secure this offensive weapon in the upcoming draft. And here's the scary part. If they land him, the rest of the NFC West is in serious trouble. We are talking about a shift in the divisional power balance that could last for the next decade. The strategy here is clear. Maximize the championship window while Stafford is still slinging it at an elite level. This is how dynasties are built in the NFL, by finding that one unique talent that makes everyone else around them better. The Rams have a history of aggressive moves, and targeting this specific draft prospect shows they aren't satisfied with just being competitive. They want to be dominant. They want to be the team that every defensive coach stays up at night worrying about. Inside the building, the excitement is palpable because they know this kid is special. But what the Rams are planning to do next regarding their current wide receiver room is where things get really interesting and potentially a bit more complicated for the fans. If you believe in Mickey Loomis and the front office to bring elite talent back to New Orleans, smash that like button and drop a "who dat" in the comments right now. Alvin Kamara is currently in a situation that has the entire city of New Orleans on high alert because his future with the Saints has officially entered a state of extreme uncertainty. This kid has been the heartbeat of our offense for years, but the reality of the business is starting to set in, and it's looking more and more like a breakup could be on the horizon. The future of the star running back in the team remains completely uncertain as both sides navigate a delicate balance of contract expectations and team direction. And here's the scary part. When a player of this caliber enters this kind of state, it usually means the end of an era is approaching faster than anyone expected. The Saints are at a crossroads with their backfield leader, and the lack of a clear long-term commitment is sending shockwaves through the locker room. Inside the building, this has created a sense of tension because you simply don't replace a talent like this overnight. This is the kind of situation that can define a season before it even begins, and for the fans, seeing number 4 in anything other than black and gold feels like a nightmare. But it gets worse as the market for veteran running backs continues to shift. The leverage in these negotiations is becoming a major point of contention. This isn't just about the money, it's about how the Saints view the remaining years of a legendary career and whether they believe the production can match the investment. Alvin Kamara has given everything to this city, from 6 touchdown games to being a leader in the community. But the NFL is a cold business, and right now, the silence coming from the front office is deafening. Every day that passes without a clear resolution is another day where the risk of a departure grows. We are looking at a situation where the icon of the post-Breeze era might be playing his final snaps in New Orleans sooner rather than later. It's a bitter pill to swallow for Who Dat Nation, but the red flags are flying everywhere. This is a developing story that could change the entire dynamic of the Saints offense in an instant. But while we worry about the backfield, there is another massive legend whose future is hanging by a thread, and the potential destinations are already leaking out. Man, if you think adding a top-tier prospect like that is exactly what McVay needs to get back to the Super Bowl, do me a huge favor and smash that like button. Also, drop a comment below letting me know which college star you want to see in the Horns next season. Let's get the conversation started. Puka Nacua is still the undisputed future of this franchise despite some of the recent noise and concerns about his long-term durability or sophomore slumps. This kid literally broke records and stole our hearts last season, and the Rams are making it crystal clear that he is a foundational piece of their long-term vision. Even with some minor injury scares or the heavy workload he carries, the optimism surrounding his career arc in Los Angeles is off the charts right now. You have to understand that what this receiver did as a rookie wasn't just a fluke. It was a testament to his incredible work ethic and his unique chemistry with the veteran quarterback. The coaching staff sees him as a hybrid threat who can do the dirty work in the run game while also being a primary target on third downs. But it gets worse for our rivals because he is only getting better at understanding the nuances of the scheme. There were some whispers about whether he could sustain that physical style of play over multiple seasons, but the Rams training staff has been working closely with him to ensure his body is ready for the grind. Now think about this. A healthy and evolved version of this young star is a terrifying prospect for any secondary in the league. This is the kind of move casual fans don't understand, investing so much emotional and tactical capital into a young player. But it's what wins championships in the modern era. The organization isn't just looking at the next game. They are looking at the next 5 years, and he is the protagonist of that story. His presence on the field changes how defenses have to play us, opening up lanes for everyone else. Despite the recent concerns that popped up in social media circles, the internal belief is that he is just scratching the surface of his potential. He is a culture setter in that locker room, a guy who works as hard as the walk-ons despite being a superstar. And inside the building, this level of dedication has silenced any doubts about his future. But while his status is secure, there is another veteran name that almost joined this roster, and it might have been the biggest disaster in team history. When you break down these three major storylines, it's clear that Les Snead and Sean McVay are operating with a level of surgical precision that we haven't seen since the Super Bowl run. The focus on a high-upside draft prospect like Luther Burden III shows that the Rams are committed to keeping this offense dynamic and young. Pairing a rookie phenom with an established record breaker like Puka Nacua creates a dual-threat receiving core that Matthew Stafford can exploit for years. The analysis here is simple. The Rams are no longer just buying stars, they are building them. This shift in philosophy is huge because it creates a sustainable winning culture rather than a one-year wonder. Furthermore, the decision to pass on a Davante Adams trade is perhaps the most telling piece of evidence regarding their new strategy. It proves the Rams value their financial flexibility and their draft assets more than just adding star power for the sake of it. By keeping their assets and focusing on internal development, they are ensuring that the team remains competitive even as the veteran core eventually moves on. This is a brilliant balancing act between winning now and preparing for the future. The Rams are essentially reloading while other teams are forced to rebuild. If these pieces fall into place, the draft hit, the continued rise of Nacua, and the fiscal responsibility, the Los Angeles Rams will remain the most dangerous team in the NFC West, and honestly, the entire league. The Los Angeles Rams are standing at a massive crossroads, and every sign points toward a future that is even brighter than our championship past. We are talking about a team that is smarter, younger, and more explosive than ever before. This is not just another draft prospect we are chasing. This is about finding the next cornerstone of the Rams' offensive line and receiving core for the next decade. The fact that the front office had the discipline to avoid a flashy trade for a veteran shows they finally have a long-term vision that makes sense. Whether it's the insane potential of a new draft pick or the record-breaking trajectory of Puka Nacua, the Ramley has every reason to be hyped right now. We are watching a masterclass in team building unfold right before our eyes in sunny SoCal. If you believe this team is destined for another deep playoff run and you trust the vision of McVay and Snead, you need to be part of this community. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us on this journey. This is the kind of move that wins championships. Go Rams!